Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we delve into the lives of extraordinary individuals to uncover the intricacies of human character and the timeless lessons that emerge from their experiences. Today, we turn our attention to the enigmatic Andy Warhol, a pioneer of American art and a master of reinvention. Born on August 6, 1928, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Andrew Warhol, as he was then known, would grow up to become one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. As we explore the early life of Andy Warhol, we find ourselves in the industrial landscape of Pittsburgh, a city that was once the steel capital of the world. The year was 1928, and the Great Depression was looming on the horizon, casting a shadow over the nation. Yet, in this gritty urban environment, a young Andy Warhol was beginning to forge his own path, one that would eventually lead him from the heartland of America to the forefront of the international art scene. Andy's childhood home was a small, two-story house on 73rd Street in the South Oakland neighborhood of Pittsburgh. His parents, Andrei and Julia Warhol, were Slovakian immigrants who had come to America in search of a better life. Andrej, a laborer, worked tirelessly to provide for his family, while Julia, a homemaker, managed the household and cared for their three sons, Paul, John, and Andy. The Warhol family was devoutly Catholic, and their faith played a significant role in shaping Andy's early years. As a child, Andy was often sickly and spent much of his time indoors, where he developed a passion for drawing and painting. His mother, Julia, encouraged his creative pursuits, recognizing the talent that lay within her youngest son. She would often take Andy on walks through the city, pointing out the beauty in the everyday sights and sounds of Pittsburgh. These early experiences would later influence Andy's fascination with the intersection of art and commerce. Andy's education began at Holmes Elementary School, where he excelled in his studies and developed a keen interest in art. His teachers recognized his talent and encouraged him to pursue his creative endeavors. In 1942, Andy enrolled in Shenley High School, where he continued to hone his artistic skills and develop his unique perspective on the world. The historical context of Andy's early years was marked by significant events that shaped his character and future path. The Great Depression had left its mark on Pittsburgh, with many families struggling to make ends meet. However, the city's industrial base was also undergoing a transformation, as new technologies and industries emerged, offering opportunities for innovation and growth. This complex interplay of economic and social forces would later influence Andy's fascination with the power of popular culture to shape our perceptions and desires. As we delve deeper into Andy's early life, we see a young man who is beginning to forge his own path, one that will lead him from the industrial heartland of America to the forefront of the international art scene. The influences of his childhood, from the Catholic iconography to the gritty urban landscape of Pittsburgh, have instilled in him a unique perspective and a creative vision that will soon captivate the world. In addition to his family and education, Andy's early life was also shaped by the cultural and artistic movements of the time. He was fascinated by the work of artists such as Walt Disney and Norman Rockwell, whose illustrations and paintings seemed to capture the essence of American culture. Warhol's own early artwork, including his drawings of movie stars and advertisements, demonstrates a clear fascination with the power of popular culture to shape our perceptions and desires. The foundations laid during his childhood and adolescence, his artistic talent, his fascination with popular culture, and his unique perspective on the world will soon propel him into the spotlight as he becomes a leading figure in the New York City art scene, pushing the boundaries of artistic expression and challenging the very notion of what it means to be an artist. In the early 1960s, Warhol's fascination with popular culture and consumerism led him to experiment with silkscreen printing, a technique that allowed for mass production of images. This innovation enabled him to create multiple copies of the same image, often with slight variations, which challenged traditional notions of originality and authenticity in art. His iconic Campbell's Soup Can series, created in 1962, is a prime example of this approach. By appropriating familiar consumer products and presenting them as art, Warhol questioned the boundaries between high and low culture. Warhol's studio, known as the Factory, became a hub for creative experimentation and collaboration. It was here that he surrounded himself with a diverse group of artists, musicians, and writers, including Edie Sedgwick, Billy Name, and Lou Reed. This collective of talented individuals helped shape Warhol's artistic vision and contributed to the development of his signature style. The factory was also a place where Warhol could explore his fascination with film and video, mediums that would become increasingly important in his work. In 1963, Warhol began producing his own films, often using his friends and acquaintances as subjects. These experimental films, such as Sleep and Empire, pushed the boundaries of traditional cinema and explored new ways of storytelling. Warhol's use of long takes, static shots, and minimal editing created a sense of realism and intimacy, drawing viewers into the world of his subjects. His films also frequently featured everyday activities, like eating or talking, which were presented as mundane yet fascinating spectacles. Warhol's artistic output during this period was remarkably prolific. He produced hundreds of paintings, prints, and films, each one reflecting his fascination with the banality and spectacle of modern life. His work often incorporated elements of consumer culture, such as advertisements, product packaging, and celebrity portraits. By recontextualizing these familiar images, Warhol highlighted the ways in which they shape our perceptions and desires. One of Warhol's most famous works from this period is his Marilyn diptych, created in 1962, shortly after Marilyn Monroe's death. The piece consists of two silkscreen prints of Monroe's face, one in color and one in black and white, which are presented side by side. This work not only showcases Warhol's innovative use of silkscreen printing, but also comments on the fleeting nature of celebrity and the ways in which images can be both iconic and ephemeral. As Warhol's reputation grew, so did his influence on the art world. He became a leading figure in the pop art movement, alongside artists like Roy Lichtenstein and Jasper Johns. His work challenged traditional notions of what constitutes art and expanded the possibilities for creative expression. Warhol's innovative use of materials, techniques, and imagery helped to democratize art, making it more accessible and relevant to a broader audience. In conclusion, this period in Warhol's life was marked by incredible creativity and innovation. His experiments with silkscreen printing, film, and video pushed the boundaries of artistic expression, while his fascination with popular culture and consumerism challenged traditional notions of high and low art. In the early 1970s, Warhol began to shift his focus from filmmaking back to painting and printmaking. This change was partly due to the increasing costs and complexities of film production, as well as a desire to explore new techniques and mediums. One notable example from this period is his Skull series, created in 1978, which features silkscreen prints of skulls on various backgrounds. These works not only showcased Warhol's continued fascination with mortality, but also his ability to find beauty in the mundane. Warhol's studio, still known as The Factory, though now relocated to Union Square, remained a hub for creative activity. However, the atmosphere had changed somewhat from its earlier days. The Factory of the 1970s was more commercial and less experimental than its predecessor, reflecting Warhol's growing interest in business and his desire to make his art more accessible to a wider audience. In 1976, Warhol began working on his oxidation paintings, also known as the Piss paintings. This series involved him, or one of his assistants, urinating on canvases treated with copper paint, resulting in unique, abstract pieces that changed color over time. These works were a return to experimentation and pushed the boundaries of what could be considered art. One notable collaboration from this period was with the young artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. Together, they produced a series of paintings that combined Warhol's silkscreen techniques with Basquiat's expressive brushwork. These works not only highlighted the contrast between their styles, but also demonstrated Warhol's willingness to engage with new artistic movements and talents. Warhol also became increasingly fascinated with television during this period. In 1980, he launched Andy Warhol's TV, a series of half-hour programs that aired on Manhattan cable television. The show featured interviews with celebrities, artists, and musicians, as well as segments on fashion, art, and culture. This foray into television was another example of Warhol's ability to adapt to new mediums and his enduring interest in the intersection of art and popular culture. Despite his success and prolific output, Warhol faced personal challenges during these years. He was shot in 1968 by Valerie Solanas, a radical feminist and actress who had appeared in one of his films, and this event left both physical and emotional scars. Additionally, Warhol became more reclusive as he aged, preferring the comfort and security of his routine to the unpredictability of public life. In his later years, Warhol also turned to religion, finding solace in Catholicism. His faith had a profound impact on his personal life, and, to some extent, his art, with themes of mortality and the search for meaning becoming more prevalent in his work. Andy Warhol passed away on February 22, 1987, due to complications from a gallbladder surgery. In conclusion, Warhol's later years were a testament to his enduring creativity, his ability to adapt and evolve, and his profound impact on modern art. Through his work, he challenged our perceptions of what art could be, expanding its possibilities and ensuring that his influence would be felt for generations to come. That's all for today's Biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.